Yeah, welcome to our fifth session of the Learn Flutter Together study group. And I want to know if there is any first timer here who are here for the first time. Because if not, then we will just skip through the slides that I used to go through every week. Okay, so if you go to the group here, the Facebook group, I have already uploaded the recording for the past session, which you can find at the units. So you can click on the units tab here, and then you will find the recording. So feel free to catch up with the videos. And today we will start a new project, and we will follow the code lab on this one. Building beautiful UIs with Flutter. The first part, I kind of split this into two parts so that we wouldn't take too much time. So I want to limit each session to 1 hour at most. So if you tap on the link, you should arrive here. Hi, Roshan, welcome. So do you want to introduce yourself first? You can unmute to say something, or you can also type it in the chat. Okay, so today we will go through this one. And then if you haven't set up the Flutter environment, then you should go through the installation. And yeah, I just assume that you have already set it up. And today we are going to start another new Flutter project. And yeah, so let's see. How do I start a new Flutter project? I think I will use the terminal. Yeah, here the instruction is for Android Studio users. So if you open Android Studio, then you can follow the instructions here. But then I will use command to create instead. So I can type in Flutter create and then the name of the project. So what should I name this? I guess I should name this anything I want. Let's see, what are we building? A chat. Okay. Yeah, I guess I can use something like this. Friendly chat. Okay. Now it has generated it. It's not done yet actually. Yeah. Okay, so I have generated this folder, friendly chat, adding in my home path. So I will open it with Visual Studio Code. So yeah, like some of you might have known that recently Apple has just released the new iOS version. So if you haven't updated Xcode, please do. So I have updated my Xcode to support the latest iOS version. So it's iOS 14 on my simulator now. Okay. Then let's open up the main.dart. and just try to start the app first, see if it can run. So I will click run and debug here. Okay, so now we have created a Flutter project. We can proceed. So now we can build the main user interface. So the goal is to use Flutter to build friendly chat, a simple chat app. Okay, so it has some features that it can display text messages. User can enter a text string and then can send by pressing the return key or send button. Also, it can run on Android, iOS, and web. Oh, there is actually a finished app here. So Dartpad, if let's say you didn't install or you want to skip the development environment setup, you can always use Dartpad to try things out first. And then actually here, it will render the web version of it. So this is actually working, I think. Hello. Yeah. All right. So first thing is to create the main app scaffold. Replace all the code in main.dart with the following. Okay, copy and put in main.dart. Okay, this one is not launched yet actually, still building. But yeah, we'll leave it to run in the background first. And what is the observation? So start with a main function. Yes, I think we have covered this in the past few weeks, right? So there is an entry point, which is from the main function. So the run app function takes in the argument a widget, which Flutter will expand and display on the screen. And it uses material design elements. So we are using the material app widget. And this is the root of your app widget tree. And the home argument will specify the default screen. And the default screen contains of a scaffold widget with an app bar. So yeah, this is the starter app actually. So I think I will press the hot restart, see if it reflects. No, let me stop this and run again. So you can run the app by clicking the run icon in the editor. I think this is the run icon in Android Studio. So here it shows, it explains the difference between the hot reload, hot restart, and a full restart. So hot reload is this one. So this one is the hot reload icon. This is hot restart, and this is to stop it completely. So like just now, I did a full restart because I stopped this and run again. So let's say you have changed something in your code. Let's say you are changing the color or you are changing the text of this. Usually hot reload will work. So I have set up, I'm not sure whether that's the default behavior, but when I press save on Visual Studio, then it will actually auto run the hot reload. So once you change the word here and then press save, then it actually hot reload it for me. Oh, but I wonder why the hot reload doesn't work here. Is it because of the new iOS version? I'm not sure. I have just upgraded actually. Does anyone face the same issue? Like right now I'm using the Flutter 1.20.4 and it doesn't seem to work. It doesn't reflect the changes. I don't think it's related to this because I'm changing the app bar text. Type R in the terminal. I can try. No, not here, I guess. The terminal thing is, I think you have to start from there, or it's in Android Studio. Oh, Sandra, you are facing the same issue also. Yeah. Uh, can you target Android on macOS? Yeah, actually I can. So if I start a Android emulator here, and then I run it, it should work. Let's see if it works on Android emulators. Okay, let me try. So now I have selected the device here, and then I can click run. So this should start building on my Pixel emulator. Oh, you did that on Visual Studio Code. Okay. Never mind, let me see if the hot reload works on Android. Okay, now it has built. Let me change the text and save. No, hot reload doesn't work on Android either. Why? Why is this happening? Oh, YN didn't update your Xcode and iOS, but it didn't work either. That's weird. May I know which Flutter version you are using? Maybe it's related to the Flutter version. Roshan, do I type R in the debug console or? I have not tried this method before. Oops. Uh, doesn't seem to work. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, I tried pressing the thunder icon, but it doesn't hot reload either. Or let me just downgrade my Flutter and see if it works. Let's see. Let me stop this. And then, how do I downgrade? Is there such command? Downgrade to 1.17.5. Yes. Okay, let me try running Flutter Doctor. Oh, this one, the problem. But this is related to the unit test. Oh, okay. Maybe it's because of this. All right. Let's see. I should make sure that my app exists because here I didn't define it. Or maybe I just delete this first. Yeah, probably it's because of the problem, so uh, it didn't build for me. Okay, anyway, this is running, so have to wait for it to finish first. Yeah, if the Flutter program is run using Flutter run, yep, but I'm not using the method to do it, so well, I can try it next time. Okay, I think I can try again. I'll wait for the command to finish first. Hi, morning, Eric. Actually, I was trying out how to fix the hot reload not working problem. So apparently it might not be because of the Flutter version. It might just due to the problem that it had with the unit test. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay. Oh, this is taking a while. All right. I guess I will stick with this for now. So if you guys are running the latest Flutter stable version, I think it's the 1.20 point something, let me know if there is any issue. So I guess for now I will stick with this version. And then after I have made changes on the Flutter version, I think I need to restart this. So I need to reload the window so that it can load the Dart and Flutter again. Okay, so now it reflects the current version of Flutter that I'm using. All right, I can continue now. Is this running? It seems to be running. Okay, need to download the tools first. So for those who just entered, we are at the fourth step of the Building Beautiful UIs with Flutter Code Lab. And I just copy and paste this code to replace the code in main.dart. So yeah, we are here. Okay, it's taking a while to start because I have just changed my Flutter version. So it has to download all the build tools again. Okay, finally it's launching. Okay, let me see if the hot reload works. What happened? Why is it not working? There's no problem so far. It says it is reloaded, but then nothing happens on the app bar. Oh my god, why? Let me try with the Android one. Oops. This is annoying. Okay, I have my Pixel XL. Okay, now you guys have to watch me debugging. Okay, let's see if it works. No, it doesn't. My God. And there's no problem. And it says reloaded, but then the change doesn't reflect on the emulator. I'm not sure what happened. It works for me for the past few weeks. Okay, never mind. If anyone knows, please let me know. I really want to fix this. Else we will proceed first while we have to live with the live without hot reloading for now. So let's see. So now we can add a UI for composing messages. So we need to add these three widgets. One is the text field, an icon button with a row. So what does it say? Clicking the text field should bring up a soft keyboard, and user can send messages by typing a non-empty string and pressing the return key, or by tapping on the send button. Or someone draw something, is it? For now, the UI for composing messages is at the top of the chat screen. But after you add UI, you should move it to the bottom of the chat screen. Okay, so I guess the first step is to add the text field. And it's a stateful widget. So I think in our last code lab, we have went through what is a stateless and a stateful widget. And then now we need to change the chat screen class to be stateful. Do we have a chat screen class? Select chat screen in the line. I feel like we have skipped one step. Did we? Yeah, because we haven't completed here. Okay. Right, so we need to build the chat screen first. Create the friendly chat app widget. Inside main, place the cursor in front of M immaterial app. Then I will need to extract Flutter widget. Oh, okay. So now we need to use the tool. So we need to extract widget and enter friendly chat app and click refactor. So I just place my cursor in front of M and then extract widget. So the name of the widget is friendly chat app. Okay, let's do this again. Oh, so now we have this. Next, the material app code is placed inside a new stateless widget called friendly chat app. Yep. So instead of the material app widget here, this is replaced by friendly chat app widget, which we extracted out just now. So now the material app tree is placed inside the build method of the friendly chat app widget. Okay. And then select the block of text after home. Start with scaffold and end with this. Okay, don't include the ending comma. Oh really? The hot reload works like that? Okay, let's see. Or should I quit the app first? Stop this, run. And start typing chat screen. Select chat screen from the pop-up. Oh, okay. Okay, now to see whether it works. Aha, it does. Wow, thanks guys. So probably the first thing is to make sure that we are extracting out the material app widget from here first. Okay. Now we can continue with peace. Okay. Now we have to replace the scaffold widget with the chat screen. So from here to here, chat screen, which obviously not defined yet. So now we need to create a stateless widget called chat screen. Under the friendly chat app class, type STLESS. Okay. So STLESS. So I can see that here there is a suggestion. There is a template here to insert a stateless widget. I will use this and enter chat screen. So now it is defined, but because it's a container, so you see nothing here. And then, so now we need to replace the container with a scaffold widget. Okay. The cursor should be positioned inside the parentheses, yes. And start typing app bar. So we need to put an app bar into the scaffold. App bar. because there's nothing yet, so it just render the app bar with no content. Within the parentheses, start typing title and text. Okay, so basically we are putting in the thing that we have deleted just now. Text, friendly chat. Okay. So like here it says that the user interface is described by the build method. So what Flutter does is it will call the build method to render the friendly chat app and the chat screen. And it will hot reload when any of the widget changes. The override is an annotation. So here there is the override annotation. There's also here, which means that when it extends the stateless widget, because the stateless widget parent class, it has the build method. So now you are extending it, you need to override the build method. Some widgets like scaffold and app bar are specific to material design apps. Other widgets like text, yep, so we have used this. Widgets from different libraries are also compatible and can work together. By simplifying, the main method enables hot reload. Oh, so this is the reason that the hot reload doesn't work just now. Okay. So, yep, this is the hot reload button. There are multiple ways to use hot reload. You can press the button, or you can type R, or you can press save that links to auto hot reload. After dividing the UI into separate classes, you should see no visible change in the UI. So what's next? So now we are at here. We need to add these fields. First is to add the text field. So the first step is to change the chat screen to be stateful. Because right now we are still using a stateless widget. Like what we saw in the last session, we can also click on here, and then there is a convert to stateful widget. So just click on this, then you're done. So now it can contain state inside the chat screen state. Yeah, so instead of pressing on the bulb icon, you can also use keyboard shortcuts. Press Option Return or alternate Enter to bring up the menu, and click on Convert to Stateful widget. To manage interactions with the text field, we need to use a text editing controller. Okay, so this is the reason why we need a stateful widget instead of a stateless one, because we need to manage the state of the text displayed. So what we need to do is to add a text editing controller to the chat screen state. Okay, I will copy this. And paste here. under the chat screen state. Now that your app has the ability to manage state, you can build out the chat screen state class. So let's add the new function to the chat screen state. We have build text composer. Okay. I'll just copy this and paste in chat screen state. Okay, handle submitted is not defined yet. But so far, what we can see is we have converted to a stateful widget class, and stateful widget will have state, obviously. The code above defines a private method called build text composer. Yeah, so a private method will start with an underscore that returns a container widget with a configured text field widget. Okay. It also adds a horizontal margin between the edge of the screen and each side of the text field, which is defined here. So this is how you define a margin on the container. So it's a symmetric margin on both sides on the horizontal axis. I think we can see the effect later. The unit passed into each insets are logical pixels. And it depends on the device pixel ratio. Okay. On submitted property provides a private callback method handle submitted. Yeah, so this is the private callback method. At first, this method just clears the field. Okay, the text field within the text editing controller will give you control over the text field. Yeah. So now we can define the handle submitted function. Let's copy this. So now what does this do? It is calling the text controller.clear. It actually will set the value to empty. Set the text value to empty. Okay. Now we can put in the build text composer into the body of the scaffold. So we haven't added a body property, so now we can add this. We will add here after the add bar. Save. Yeah. So now you should see the send a message text field here. By tapping on this, it will bring up a soft keyboard. And I think we can actually type something. Yeah. So the build text composer method returns a widget that encapsulates the text input. Adding this to the body property will cause the app to display the text input. Yeah, so we have seen this on our Pixel XL emulator. Exactly like this. And now we can add a responsive send button. All right. So where do we put this? Okay, in the build text composer, we first need to wrap the text field inside a row. Okay. So we can again use the tool in our IDE. use the wrap with widget command and start typing row. Okay, I will do this. Which one to wrap again? Text field. So we are here. My cursor is put at the text field and wrap with widget. Or I can actually wrap with row, right? So yeah, like this. Save. Okay. Some error happened. Am I doing it wrong? Okay. But just now I am wrapping it with row directly, so it automatically put inside the children for me. So like this. The children property takes in a list rather than single widget. So we can see from the square bracket, which indicates a list. In my Visual Studio Code, I already said that it can auto format on save. So once I press save, it is already well formatted. So now, okay, we are not done yet. We need to wrap the text field inside a flexible widget. Ooh. So now we need to wrap again. Wrapping the text field. Okay. So here, wrap. Since there's no flexible here, I will just press this one. So this one is the generic wrapping with widget. So I just type flexible. There shouldn't be any error now. Okay, cool. So blah, blah, blah. I have done this. So this is exactly what we have. But we haven't put the send button yet. I guess that's the next step. So using a row allows you to place the send button adjacent to the input field. By wrapping the text field in a flexible widget, will tell the row automatically size the text field. Okay, so now that we haven't put in the send button, now we have the flexible widget. This would mean that, okay, the children should take up as much space as possible inside the row widget. Add a comma, will tell the formatter how to format the code. Yeah, this is what I like. Like if let's say you have a very long line, for example, here, if you are putting extra properties into the input declaration.collapse, and this line might become super long that you have to scroll horizontally. It's not that pretty. So what I do is I will put a trailing comma so that when I press save or when you run the reformat, then it can bring it to a new line so that each property will fall on a new line, which makes things looks nicer. Okay, so now we need to add the send button. This send button becomes the second item in the row list. Yeah. So position the cursor at the end of flexible. Press return and start a new line. Okay, I need to add a container. All right. So what I need to do is inside after flexible, I create a container. And then add the following lines to the container. Okay. So now I have the send button. And this is using the material icon. So good thing about using material icon is you don't have to import import external images or import any external packages. It's already built in. So like when I see this one, I have to put a trailing comma so that it can bring it properly. So what do we see here? The icon button will display the send button. Yep. So inside the icon property, you can define which icon to be used. And then we are using the icons.send from the material library. By placing the icon button inside the container, okay, so you can customize the margin spacing of the button by putting in the margin here. And on press property, will invoke the handle submitted method, passes the content to the text controller. The arrow syntax is sometimes used in declaring functions. Yeah, so this is a shorthand. If you are familiar with JavaScript, I think this is more or less the same as what you see in JavaScript. You can use the arrow notation as a shorthand. Okay, so this is what we see. Now, in the build text composer, wrap the container inside an icon theme. Oh, there's a typo here. Icon theme. Select container at the top of build text composer and wrap with a new widget. Okay. So let's go to build text composer. We are here. And we are selecting which container, the top one. Okay. And wrap with new widget. And what's the name of the new widget? It is icon theme. Okay, because data is required. So now it hits the assertion error. We need to add this. Okay, so now we can see that the color has changed to match the accent color. The icons inherit their color, opacity, and size from the icon theme. Yep, so as defined in our icon theme data. And a build context object is a handle of the location. Okay. So the context is a build context object. Each widget has its own context, which it becomes the parent of the widget returned by stateless widget.build. So like this context comes from this one, the stateful widget. Can access the build context object from its encapsulating state object. You don't need to pass the context to the method explicitly. Yeah. So now we can see that the color has already changed. So I guess we can stop here. And this is actually the part 2 of the code lab. So for the rest of the steps, we will continue next week. So right now we have this. So let's keep this for next week. Don't delete the project yet. Yeah, if you have any question, you can ask now. If not, I think oh, crash. Thomas, your app crash, is it? Your simulator crash. I think it just happened to me like once in a while. I always was crashing. Did it keep crashing, or is that something that just happened occasionally? Okay. Yeah. So Roshan, do you want to introduce yourself now? Yeah, RAM is an issue also, right? Or Roshan, you are an electrical engineering student. Well, then what makes you want to learn software or Flutter in specific? Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. So you do learn C++ in your course, right? I think C++ is not easy at all to learn. But I think if you start from there and then you learn that here, it might be easier for you. Yeah, back then in uni, we also learned Java, yeah, and C++ a little bit, I think. Mm. Okay, all right then. Thanks, Roshan, for introducing yourself, and thanks everyone for joining. And then next week we will continue with this, the part 2. So as usual, next week we will use a different Zoom link. So make sure that you go to the meetup here and then find for the next week's event. And once you have we have responded, then you'll be able to see the Zoom registration link here. Yeah. So that's it. And I will post up the recording as usual to the unit so that you can find and review later. All right. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye-bye.